Over the course of their illness, between 5 and 10% of all cancer patients will develop metastatic spinal disease. As the disease progresses, it often expands outward into the epidural space, creating direct pressure on the spinal cord. This creates metastatic spinal cord compression, or MSCC. It is a true oncological emergency. Left unchecked, the mechanical pressure leads to irreversible motor deficit, sensory loss, and sphincter dysfunction. When patients reach this stage, oncologists often consult spine surgeons. The goal in the operating room is no longer curative oncology. It is immediate mechanical salvage of the patient's neurological function. Clinicians grade the severity of this epidural compression using the Bilski scale. The grading ranges from mild encroachment to high-grade complete deformation of the spinal cord. Patients present across the entire neurological spectrum. While some remain intact, many arrive with severe radiculopathy or established incomplete spinal cord injuries. This creates a clinical dilemma. Surgeons must decide whether to perform highly invasive, physically demanding spinal reconstructions on patients who have terminal, incurable cancer. Treating MSSC effectively forces the surgeon to separate the immediate mechanical problem they can fix with titanium and decompression from the systemic biological problem they cannot. To measure the actual outcomes of this approach, we look at a single surgeon retrospective cohort of 45 patients treated at the Walton Center, a tertiary spinal center in the UK. This specific cohort represented a high level of disease severity. 60% of these patients presented with high-grade Bilski 2 or 3 epidural compression. Alongside cord compression, the study assessed mechanical failure using the Spinal Instability Neoplastic Score, or SINS. In this group, 0 patients had a stable spine. Every single patient evaluated was classified as having either indeterminate or fully unstable spinal columns. This bar chart details the primary tumor types responsible for the metastases. The cohort was biologically diverse, dominated by 4 main primaries: lung, breast, myeloma, and renal cell carcinoma. You can also see a long tail of 15 other pathologies. This biological heterogeneity is standard for metastatic spinal disease. Taking a cohort with extreme mechanical instability and widely varied tumor biology into the operating room poses a clear question. What are the true, measurable outcomes of these surgical interventions? The majority of the cohort, 67%, underwent a standard decompression combined with stabilization. The remaining 33% required more aggressive interventions. This included extended tumor debulking or complex reconstructive procedures like corpectomies. To evaluate the functional results of these surgeries, researchers tracked the EuroQoL 5-dimension index, a standard metric used to quantify health-related quality of life. The mean EQ5D index jumped from 0.17 to 0.56. That 0.38-point increase vastly exceeds the clinically important difference, representing a massive return of functional health. Secondary metrics confirmed this physical rescue. Patient-reported pain on the visual analog scale improved by 21.5 points post-surgery. These functional gains align with and validate the historical Patchell trial, reinforcing the value of surgical decompression in selected cases. Regardless of the cancer's ultimate trajectory, surgical intervention achieves its primary mechanical objective. It stabilizes the spine, alleviates pain, and restores the patient's quality of life. Restoring function is one aspect of palliative surgery. The quantitative timeline is the other. For this entire cohort, the median postoperative survival was exactly 12 months. This overall survival curve maps that timeline. You see an initial steep drop-off representing early postoperative mortality, which eventually levels out into a long horizontal plateau of long-term survivors. This leads to a critical question of surgical technique. If a surgeon performs a more extensive, aggressive operation to clear the tumor, does it buy the patient more time? This plot stratifies survival by surgical procedure: standard, debulking, and complex reconstruction. The 3 curves don't separate cleanly, they intersect throughout. Statistically, with a p-value of 0.646, there's no significant difference in survival based on surgical complexity. The data defines a harsh reality. A surgeon cannot cut away a systemic timeline. Complex reconstructions do not inherently equate to extended survival. If the extent of the surgery does not dictate the survival timeline, the outcome must depend on a different variable: Analysis of the cohort isolated primary tumor histology as the singular, statistically significant predictor of postoperative survival. This plot shows survival based on cancer type. Top curves like myeloma didn't even reach median survival, averaging 92 months. Contrast this with the brutal drop-offs of lung and renal cancers, which saw median survivals of merely 4 to 6 months post-surgery. Running a multivariate Cox proportional hazards model quantifies the severity of this gap. Lung cancer patients carried a mortality hazard 16 times higher than patients with myeloma. Systemic tumor biology completely overrides the surgical scalpel. The biology of the primary cancer dictates the patient's ultimate timeline. Combining these findings provides a cohesive clinical algorithm for patient selection in metastatic spinal cord compression. First, operate for function, not time. Decompression and stabilization reliably rescue a patient's quality of life and resolve mechanical pain. Second, biology is destiny. Surgeons must abandon the bias that performing a larger, more complex resection will cheat terminal oncology. Third, individualized assessment is paramount. A patient's mechanical metrics, their SINS and Bilski scores, must be weighed strictly against their specific tumor histology. Failing to respect tumor histology carries high clinical risk. Putting a patient with highly aggressive biology, like renal or lung cancer, through a brutal surgical recovery means they may not survive long enough to experience the functional benefits of the operation. Successful management of metastatic spinal cord compression requires deeply integrated, multidisciplinary decision-making between oncology teams and spine surgeons. When facing these cases, the ultimate maxim remains clear: treat the mechanics, but respect the biology.